Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today we're going to be talking about Sing, Unburied, Sing by Jesmyn Ward. This is a book that comes in at 285 pages. It is literary and fabulous fiction, and it is a novel. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today we are going to be talking about Sing, Unburied, Sing by Jesmyn Ward, a novel which is literary fiction and fabulous fiction, coming in at 285 pages. This book follows multiple perspectives and it takes place over a period of 2 days while traveling from southern Mississippi to northern Mississippi in order to retrieve the father of one of the characters from the jail, Parchman. This follows 3 different perspectives. Jojo, a 13-year-old boy who is the son of the other perspective, Leonie, who is the daughter of Ma and Pa, who are raising Jojo and his sister Kayla, and trying to keep them safe from Leonie and her drug habits and Michael and his drug habits, which are what got him into jail in the first place. We also follow a third perspective, which is Richie, a ghost who was on Parchman when Pa was in jail as a child for basically being a black man. I think that was like the only crime that he had. And that's not a crime. But that was the only problem that they had with Pa back when he was young, is that he was a black man, and so he ended up in Parchman. Really screwed up. This book is a beautiful story about family and the experience of love and how that can go a long way within a family even when things are not going right. And it talks about ghosts and their afterlife, and it talks about the experience of one during a really dark and twisted time. It talks about the experience of being able to connect with and communicate with ghosts. It talks about the experience of living in a world where you are not entirely wanted by your own family and kin. It talks about living in a world where your mother is not able to care for you properly, and it talks about the experience of what happens within a jail when you are a black man and the people running it are white men who have a problem with black men in general. It is really interesting to discuss race and the topics that go along with that. It talks about class and what that looks like. It talks about a lot of experiences of those in the jail cells when they are living under a really scary regime that is potentially detrimental to those who are working and trying to just stay below the radar within the jail. It talks about Jojo and his mother's relationship while she is still into drugs and he is trying to keep Kayla safe, and it experiences a lot of really darker topics. I felt that this book was fantastic. I went into this book thinking, yes, 5 stars. This is going to be top of the list for 2018. I'm going to love this. It is going to be amazing. Absolutely brilliant. I can't believe I found a favorite of 2018 already. And then I said, Acacia, didn't you promise your subscribers that you were going to be more critical of books? And I was like, oh yeah, that whole thing. So this went from a 5-star to a 4.5 star. It is not a big distinction, but it is a distinction, and I do feel that there was an element of this that just didn't go all the way to 5 stars. I was comparing this books to books like The Bell Jar, The Secret History, and The Clay Girl, all of which are 5-star books in my mind and have held this really strong place in my brain. I couldn't hold it completely up to The Bell Jar because The Bell Jar is my favorite book of all time, and that would be a little unfair. But The Clay Girl and The Secret History seemed like a fair comparison. I did find myself loving this book, feeling really attached to the characters. I did cry quite a few times in this book, and I felt really overwhelmed by emotion. But I want to be wrecked by a book. I want to feel as if the characters' feelings are my feelings, as if the character's distress is my distress. I want to close a book in the middle of a sentence and start weeping and throwing the book across the room because I am so distraught and destroyed. I want to feel everything that the characters are feeling and then some. That is a 5-star book to me, and this book just didn't get there. I felt really dedicated to these characters, I felt really sympathetic towards these characters, and I felt a lot of anger towards characters, and a lot of frustration with characters, but I just didn't feel 100% like their grief was my grief. I think that this book is excellent, really well crafted, really beautifully executed, really wonderful, and I think that it is a great book to read. I definitely recommend it 100%, and I think that it is a book that almost everyone should read. I think that the people who may not like it is people who don't like vomit, because there are quite a few scenes with vomit, and also people who are not really comfortable with reading books about death and afterlife, because some people just find that really discomforting. I myself found it really beautiful and well done, and it had some really interesting folklore involved in it, but overall you have to have a strong stomach for this book and be able to kind of deal with some really darker and more sketchy topics. I really recommend it. I think it is beautiful, well crafted, and eloquent, and I think that it is a 4.5 star rating, and I would definitely say that if you haven't picked it up, it is a great book to pick up. Do I think it is worth buying in hardcover and reading immediately? Yes. Yes, I do. I think it is worth picking up in hardcover and reading immediately. If you can get a coupon, it's definitely worth getting a coupon for it, but like, I definitely would say that this is a book that I would recommend picking up in hardcover and reading now as soon as possible. So those are my thoughts on Sing Unburied Sing. I definitely recommend it, and I highly am excited for you guys to read it and let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click the subscribe button down below. If you have any questions, comments, or quandaries, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. I will see you all in my next video, and I'll talk to you then. Bye!